Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundake with Reverend Yataki Yamada. Today being Thursday, the 16th of December or the 13th of November in the 9th year of Chonglukuk. Let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Chariot, Kyombe. Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가전맨세 4. 전일국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 찬조 이사인 전주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 4. Our family, the owner of Chonglukuk, pledges to build a universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Catherine in New Zealand if she could offer the opening prayer, please.
Together. Good morning, our most beloved Heavenly Parents, our beloved true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. We greet you this morning, today, the 16th of December, with our love and heart and gratitude always. Thank you for all the things that you have given us, just to wake up each day, to hear the birds singing and to have the sun shining, to have a new day. We're grateful that we can come together at this time to unite together in heart with Reverend Yamada and with all our brothers and sisters in this region, Oceania, that we can be as one family and with you, our Heavenly Parents, and that we can come to know each other more deeply and more clearly as we continue with Hundake, where we hear the testimonies and we have the different sermons from different brothers and sisters. It's really a great way of coming to know each other's hearts. But most of all, we're so grateful for our true mother, who has been leading and guiding us in this way at this time, Heavenly Father. We have until 2027, these next 7 years, or it's less than 7 years now, to really fulfill and help True Mother in all possible ways we possibly can, to fulfill the desires of this age. Heavenly Father, we thank you for one another, and we thank you for this time. Please be with us today as we hear your words that can touch our hearts, that can move the hearts of other people as well, Heavenly Father. The most important thing is touching the hearts of each person that we meet and that we share with, and that we can open up their heart to you, heart of love and grace and blessings. Thank you for this time. Thank you for one another being here. And we offer this time up to you with our heart and gratitude always, as I pray in the name of all the blessed families, blessed central families gathered here today. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you. And let's join together to give a warm welcome to Reverend Yataka as he shares this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning from the Quay. Today is also a great morning and beautiful moment. Let's put our sincere devotion in the heart and let's create the beautiful day together with our Heavenly Parents and true parents. Every moment there are many events. There are also good news. We could really see several development, and we are so much inspired always. True Mother is investing a lot, centering on Korean Peninsula to fulfill Heavenly Unified Korea in the international headquarters, and also our brothers and sisters and leaders. We could see that. And we are also the one who will create together this historical providence as the central figure, and also as a unificationist, and also our Heavenly Parents, filial son and filial daughters. Let's unite together. Let's go forward. So first I want to share this Think Tank 2022 Interfaith Forum. So this will be held and this will be broadcasted in this Saturday, December 18, so after 2 days. So this time topic is talking about interfaith forum. That's why many religious leaders is joining together, and they will explain and share their thought. So this time a special guest is the Paula White. So last time Trumada organized the 1 million rally in Korea, 1 million prayer rally in Korea. So that time this think tank 2022 interface forum was recorded, so we could see. So I prepare one short, maybe 30 seconds video, introduction video. So I want to show this one. So let's watch together.
Fundamentally, we must recognize that the role of faith leaders is absolutely central to achieving peace of the Korean Peninsula.
Yes. So Reverend Paula White, she is the representative of Christianity, and we can say she is some kind of a female John the Baptist figure who can testify through mother. So centering on Heaven Unified Korea or Korean Peninsula, many discussion will be held, and also those important person is joining together. So Reverend Paula White is very close with us, right? We are so much inspired her message, and really directly testify through mother, and strongly she share the opinion and also the message to us. So this Saturday, now in Korea, there are really many kind of event, because now is a serious and important time period to prepare the presidential election for next year, March 9. So there are many kind of things. So even think tank 2022, last time centering on the political leaders and centering on the business leader. And this time centering on the religious or interfaith area, really we could see how Trumada is leading the all providence and all peace movement toward Korean Peninsula in the world as the mother of peace and mother of unification. So we could see those things. So they are preparing continuously about think tank series. Please join together and also invite our brothers and sisters, even our guests, and to watch together. Then we ourselves to connect, and always we will put our heart about Korean Peninsula, and we can share and we can testify, and we can also give that impact to our brothers and sisters, friend, colleague, and also society and the nation. So this Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Sydney time, 9:30 a.m. Korean time. So let's invite well and join together. And beside of this, UPF side is also organizing the World Summit in this next February, 11 to 14, I think. So now we are preparing to send the VVIP to go to Korea, representative of each 8 pillars. Of course, because of COVID, it's not easy things to go to Korea, but we try to invite our political area, religious area, media side, academia side, culture side, business side. So we are preparing and to try to send representative from our region and also the world. And if the person who cannot go, but we encourage the people to join through online two-way for World Summit. And also we will organize the regional ILC, some kind of the educational event, end of January. So in Asian Pacific region, also centering on 8 pillar, we are preparing that one. So if you have a good speaker, or if you have a guest, please also suggest, please also invite to join to create this movement in the world. So really there are many kind of things coming. So please cooperate this one. And there is another one good news. You could see, do you know who he is? He is, of course, Reverend Santos, right? And another person, he is the person who are selected as the new Tonga Prime Minister. So he attended the World Summit in Korea 2015. He is already connected with UPF and to recognize our true parents and also connecting with Reverend Santos all the time. And now he became the Prime Minister of Tonga. So last time our brother Chihiro-san shared a testimony about Tonga, right? Continuously he invested to Tonga, and some royal family was connected with us, and many foundation was there, spiritual investment was there. And do you know, yesterday we share one pastor's story. Our pastor there, Pastor Baya. Do you know what's his nationality? He also is coming from Tonga. That's why we could see something in Tonga, spiritual side and also political side and also the long investment or Chonson. Really many heavenly fortune is coming to Tonga. Our True Mother is really proclaiming toward 2027 vision to restore the nation and also restore the region, 7 regions in the world. This is really Mother's wish. How we can restore 7 sub-region. That's why Oceania should be one of this sub-region in the world. Aju? So 2027, we are not sure which country are prepared, but we can see how much heaven is now urgent through dream, through vision. Really, true parents is coming to those persons' dream, and they are the ones who are coming to us. They are so much surprised to meet True Mother in the spirit, in the dream, and also testify about how much great experience or great inspiration are coming to their dream or people's life. So just we didn't see it, just we didn't recognize those persons yet, but surely they are waiting. So we will meet them, invite them, and we will work together to restore our nation, restore our region, and also create heavenly unified world together. So this is really good news. And also end of this month, we are preparing also second generation workshop, not only bigger providential event, also our future youth is important. So our second generation blessed family side, blessed children department, they are really investing and preparing this workshop end of this month, 29 to January 2nd or 3rd. So Asian Pacific level, even Oceania level, and even Australia side, physically in Belgrade, also there are many preparation. So thank you always our Ken, Daniel, Yeonmin, Rebecca, Naomi, Mifa, Dohi, all Oceania representative and national representative. They are every time having meeting and creating. So bigger providence, of course, important, but in the same time, our family members and also our second generation and our youth, everything you have to do together, right? So please cooperate, pray. If they have workshop, we are welcome for your support always. Please visit the workshop place. I think each nation will be held. Solomon Island also joining, Fiji also joining. So please pray and cooperate together. So anyway, there are many exciting news. Let's offer our heart and also love to Heavenly Parents, little parents. Okay, so let's read together also True Mother's anthology. Yesterday, we shared through Mother's message talking about God's investment and preparation in order to send the Messiah on this earth through Heavenly Parents invested for 4,000 years history for Jewish and Israelites. And Israelites themselves also invested to welcome our Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son. But Israelites and Jewish people could not recognize Jesus Christ at that moment. So let's continue to the next part. God created one man and one woman and planned to bestow the blessing upon them when they grow up and reached the marriageable age. However, even though Jesus came to earth as a man, the prophets of the time and even his own mother did not understand that he needed a spouse. Though the Bible does not record every instance of it, Jesus told Mary several times that he needed to get married. At that time, Mary failed to fulfill her responsibility. In the end, though Jesus was born as the only begotten Son of God, who should have established the true parents, circumstances forced him to die on the cross. So what was the God's ideal to the people to fulfill individual perfection and to meet the spouse and to get the blessing and to create the family. This is God's ideal of creation. Jesus also same. Jesus came on this earth as the Messiah, a begotten Son, but what was his purpose? Through building ideal family, create ideal nation, and create ideal world. That's why Jesus himself should have met the spouse and to receive the blessing. But who should have taken the responsibility for Jesus that time? Actually, Mother Maria should have taken responsibility that for Jesus, but she could not understand and she could not recognize or realize her important role and mission to find a spouse. Even Jesus asked her many times. According to Father's message, I have to check, but I remember that Father said Jesus asked when he was 17 years old, 27 years old, and even 30 years old time. Jesus asked Mary 3 times, but Mary did not recognize and didn't take action. That's why finally Jesus went to the another way. So originally, if Mary supported Jesus, totally the providence was changed. And also according to Father said, the spouse candidate. So Jesus' spouse was John the Baptist's younger daughter. Have you heard that? So Father also several times mentioned that. So there are important mission and responsibility for Mary, but she could not fulfill. So this become one of the reason for Jesus to go to the cross. So if that time, we know the history, first family group who are prepared was the prophet Zachariah. So if that time Zachariah, Elizabeth, and Mary united together to prepare for Jesus, what's happened? Jesus could be born as the Son of God and also King of Kings, and he could be able to grow up as the children of God with protection and family and also tribe of Jewish, and surely he could become the King of Kings already at that time. And that time also John the Baptist was there. So together John the Baptist and Jesus Christ could be able to grow up and they could be able to overcome the relationship between Cain and Abel naturally. and also they could get the marriage with younger daughter of John the Baptist. So if that was fulfilled, totally heavenly providence was changed. And even Zachariah family could not fulfill, then Maria and Mary went to the another way with Joseph. But if Mary totally loved Jesus and support Jesus, and when Jesus asked to Maria about spouse, and totally Mary support Jesus to find the spouse, maybe when he was 17 years old, 20 years old, 27 years old, then what's happened? Do you think Jesus should have gone to the cross, or there was different providential way? That's why we could imagine if Mary support and find a spouse for Jesus at the time, what was happening at that moment. So there are many kind of historical preparation, but in the same time, historical sadness was there. So how much Mary's role was important, and when Jesus meet her, approached her and asking her to find a spouse, how much Jesus' heart was serious and also really urgent. And when Jesus could see the Maria's attitude, which she doesn't cooperate, how was his heart? So we should understand those deep Jesus' heart and Jesus' feeling at that moment. And Mother said, he had lost the foundation, the family, the tribe, and the people who could have helped him. The only path left for Jesus was that of the cross. Even today, Christians claim that they can be saved through the cross, but such is not the will of God. The only salvation that can be achieved through Jesus' cross is spiritual salvation. So God actually prepared long time for welcoming Jesus on this earth, and also together with sacrifice of ancestor of Israelites. But finally, Jesus lost all foundation and he went to the cross. So when we see that Jesus' life, all the time, important figure was there. They are cooperated in the beginning, and they are facing the choices to go this way or not go this way. So Jesus was always looking at their heart and their situation, and he could see what was God's will, what was not God's will. So he want to share, he want to tell them, he want to guide them. But of course, there is their portion of responsibility. So last moment, each person should have realized, should have to realize by own will and own knowledge and own wisdom, and they should have decided to the right way. Mary also same, Zachariah also same, John the Baptist also same, and Jewish priest also same, 12 disciples also same, and the 3 disciples, even 1 disciple, Peter also same. Each person had an important responsibility or role. One person's decision will be changed the Jesus' life. One person's decision will change the God's providence itself. Jesus could see each person's critical moment. That's why seriously pray in the Gethsemane, seriously invested and guided them, even showing his love and sacrifice for those persons. But every time those important figures choose the wrong way, what do you feel? How much really this agony? He can see you just go this way, then great God's blessing is waiting. But why you choose this one again? Why you choose this another way again? Why you choose this another way again? Maybe Jesus felt like this continuously. He could pray, he could support, but each person really always went to another way. That's why Jesus said in the Luke 13:34, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who kill the prophets and stone those sent to you, how often I have lodged to gather your children together as a hen gathered her chicks under her wings, and you were not willing. So this is the famous Bible words. Jesus continuously called them, guided them, and he tried to go together with them, but they could not recognize. And finally, all people failed to go together with our Jesus Christ. So True Mother really is sharing those Jesus' heart. So how much we can recognize, we can feel our heart of Jesus, and also how we can share those heart to our brothers and sisters of Christianity and even the world. So if our Christian minister or Christian friend or even the people could recognize the real heart of Jesus at that moment, what do they feel? And because of his sacrifice, finally, God could send to the parents on this earth, then how they could feel that. That's why we have to learn and really realize our Jesus heart, and also we should share those things to another brother and sisters. So this is important. So Mother is sharing about Jesus' heart and Jesus' story. So this is really good timing for Christmas, not only just celebrating and enjoying for ourselves, but in the same time, really celebrate for Jesus, comfort Jesus, and show the vision and hope. Jesus, I'm totally support our True Father and True Mother. Don't worry. We will go and we will guide our Christian brothers and sisters instead of you. So Jesus, please support from spiritual world. Please give our wisdom, and we will go together with brave heart, where we say to our Jesus how he will be happy. So we have to restore his heart and comfort, liberate himself. This is really our role who are living on this earth in this time. And also continue, let's share about Cheonsongyeon. Cheonsongyeon also talking about God. That's why continuously we have to think, we have to feel about heart. So key point is anyway, finally, heart and 심정. When we know well, when we understand well, we can have more confidence, more spiritual power, and we can go forward to carry on together with our Heavenly Parents' mission and will, to the Parents' mission and will. So I will lead this. Today is the section 2, God as the root and original being. If the absolute being created us with the intention that we practice his love, it is clear that he had a motive and a purpose in creating us. In order to clarify that motive and purpose, we need to know the nature of this absolute being. That is, we first need a collective view of God. A collective view of God will reveal his purpose and motivation for creating us. It will also clarify why we have to practice absolute love for the sake of peace. So really, Father is asking those kind of questions. Maybe some of you attended the PCLC online fellowship last time. Did you hear the Dr. Kittle's lecture? So his lecture was good. When he gave the lecture, he asked the simple question to Christian pastors. Why God didn't involve the human fall, right? Now there are so many problems in the society and so many miserable things. God, why God doesn't help that? So when Dr. Kittle shared the lecture, he shared this kind of question and let people think. So this kind of questioning way is important. Why God didn't involve? Why didn't support? That's why also Father is mentioning that if the absolute being created us with the intention that we practice his love, it is clear that he had a motive and purpose in creating us. So if he has a great purpose, what is God's purpose? What was the God motivation to create each of human beings. What do you think? Have you heard this one? We listen divine principle many times, but please think as your own things. You are here today. You are living now, that December 16, 2021. Why God created me? Why God created you? What was his motivation? What was his purpose? Did you ask to God before? Or did you think about this point? We have to ask and ask and ask and find. Then through asking, through finding this way, we have to find the right concept and right view of God. Who is God? What kind of motivation he had? What kind of purpose he had? That's why knowing God, knowing motivation, knowing purpose, knowing heart of God, this is critical things for us. We should understand and we should know what's my purpose of life. This is also important. Why I'm living also important. But before that, why God created? What was the purpose of God? This God's side is important. Do you know these differences? What is my purpose? This is important, but also what was God's purpose? So from God's point of view, how we can see ourselves, this changing some different point of view, this concept, this thinking way is really important. That's why Father continuously sharing and explaining to let us understand about God. God first cause. In the world, there are two kinds of people, men and women. They do not change their position. We were born as one or the other, not by our own desire, even though we did not think about this or want it and did not understand the process of or the result. We were born as we are. No matter how successful a person is, no one can deny that he or she is a resultant being, not the causal being. This implies that there has to be a first causal being, whether called God or something else. That causal being must exist. So Father is really explaining, we are here, even men and women, but who can decide our things? When we see our life, what kind of things we can decide? What kind of things we cannot decide? Maybe living place, job, or activity, those things maybe we can decide. But what kind of things we cannot decide? I want to, how can I born on this earth? And how I will die on this earth? So those things we cannot decide. How many things we can question to ourselves? We can question about several things, but some question we could not get answer because we are resultant beings. There is some kind of cause, so we have to understand about causal being. So Father is mentioning about God. So today, this continuously, those contents we can share every day, but how we can really recognize our God existence and God's heart. And also, even we have to think ourselves and we have to think our existence. So through God's word, through our mother's word and through parents' word, continuously we can connect our heart with God and heart with true parents. And the purpose to learn these things is to learn our purpose on this earth and also purpose of God. So each single moment is a precious time. We are living the historical moment, and this December, there are many kind of event also, but how we can offer the grateful victory and happiness to our heavenly parents and true parents. That's why let's find God, let's know God's heart, let's find the true parents' heart and wish, and let's go forward to offer the victory and share the happiness. Let's create the great moment. So today also a beautiful moment. Brothers and sisters, thank you for join this morning Fundoke, we will find the special God's heart today also. Let's have an investment and great time. Thank you very much once again. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka. Thank you for sharing with us this morning and helping us to clarify the role of Mary. As you were sharing, I was just thinking about what is Mary's responsibility. It's not just to give birth, but maybe that's all she thought. I don't know how much she understood her responsibility, even though angels came and said that her birth, she's going to give birth to Emmanuel. She was prepared and guided to go to Zechariah, and so I often wonder, with the providential figures, we read the stories and we make a lot of assumptions about what they understood, because we have such clarity because of True Father and True Mother explaining more deeply, and also different revelations from different prophets and spiritual people. We have I think a deeper understanding today than they did themselves at the time. So I'm not really sure how much she understood her responsibility. Maybe when I think about Mary's responsibility, I recognize that she responsibility is to give birth. The second one is to find a spouse, and then the third one to care for Jesus and his family for all their life, is what I can see as aspects of Mary's responsibility. But I just wonder what she herself really understood. Obviously, as a parent, we always automatically are concerned about our children, no matter what age they are. So I would be assuming that that's what she did. But we can see in Mother's words that, Mother pointed out that she failed in finding a spouse, or didn't. There's no indication, but there is an indication in the Bible that Jesus asked, what about himself, to be married, but wasn't carried out. And so that must have been a great frustration, because that's definitely one of the reasons he had to go the way of the cross, because unable to create true parents on earth. So I was just thinking about Mary's responsibility and the circumstances at that time. The other part that I was reflected on was that God created us to practice absolute love for the sake of peace. And I was thinking about well, what's the absolute love that each of us has. And the only thing, one of the things that occurred to me was that we each have our own very unique type of love, and that very unique type of love provides God with a very unique type of joy. When we look at the second gen here in the Peace Embassy, and we see their characters as they are growing up, and they do different things in different ways, and each time they do something in a way that we never thought or imagined, and it brings a smile to our face. And I was thinking, oh, that's a mini example or a mini experience of what God feels with every one of us. that even though we're in a fallen state, there are often little precious moments, that are very endearing, that God, really enjoys to see. And, the fulfillment of love, really is the joy that's produced, the happiness that is generated. So, I think that's what makes us so special, why all of us are blessed, is not because we're finally fulfilling our responsibility, but we're able to return unique joy to God, because the Bible itself indicates that the purpose for creation is to bring joy, and joy is a shared event. It's not something that's singular or done alone. So the cause and result are connected through love. So I was just reflecting on those points as Reverend Yutaka was sharing with us. And so thank you, everyone. And who would like to go first? Yes, Catherine, go ahead.
Because of the time difference, I do morning Hondoke an hour or so beforehand. And one of the speeches I'm reading is one of Father's. It's "Why Does the Lord Have to Come Back?" It was given on the 26th of May, 1957. And it really, the heading says, Jesus who was distrusted by the Israelites, the heart of Jesus who died on that cross, the believers of the last days who must be responsible for the historical grief, the heart and situation of Jesus that we must experience, the new religion group, the new religious group, disciples and families serving the Lord, the family environment which the Lord of the Second Advent will see, the standard of the life which Jesus set, the true life on earth that receives the Lord of the Second Advent. And it's a really very deep speech, and tells you really the heart of Jesus, the grief that Jesus went through, and the loneliness of Jesus when he was on the earth. And there's also, I love Father's speeches because it also gives the Bible readings as well in front. There's Matthew and Mark, 2 readings there. And it really shows us the heart of Jesus and what we're going to go through and what we should be doing as well. So it's a really good speech. I can put it in the chat if somebody wants to look at it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine. Thank you. Yes, Jeff, go ahead.
I think in order to meet true parents, each one of us unknowingly had to do certain things. Even our ancestors going to war and doing certain things which they didn't really, I guess, know what they were doing, preparing for the Lord of the Second Advent. So I'm pretty sure each one of us went through a certain course and overcame certain things. So I'm presuming that Mary also and Zechariah also didn't know what they were doing. They didn't clearly know that Jesus was the Messiah to the degree that they needed to. Even Elizabeth's experience, feeling the belly of the womb, the experience of the baby in the womb jumping, So yeah, so I guess yeah, they in the case of not recognizing Jesus and preparing the marriage for Jesus was, those things they should have done properly. But obviously Jesus was born to came from an unmarried relationship. And so I'm pretty sure that in order to satisfy Joseph, she really had to take care of his children, and Jesus was very much put aside in terms of priorities, forgetting the revelations that she was given beforehand about the special birth. So yeah, there was a lot of they should have known and they just made the wrong call. Yeah, anyway, that's my insight. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Actually, that brings a thought too. Maybe that was one of the reasons why difficult to find a bride. Maybe she was looking, but there's no record of it. Maybe the people knew that he came from an uncertain lineage. So maybe the community weren't interested in seeing him married either, because they weren't sure where he came from. That's a possibility as well. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Rex, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So actually, when just my thought, when I studied the divine principle about Jesus' life, this question came so often, and that also convinced me that the divine principle was the truth, because it making clear everything. Now we are thinking it's a common way logic things, but at the time it was not that the case. So that's why maybe many events surrounding Jesus' life happened. So it was at this time when we believe in true parents, because also our common sense or our original mind showing clearly the truth. At the time, because as we saying, Uncle Jeff shared, of course, the background of Jesus was so unfortunate and unexplained, and people was not convinced, so they could not take that risk maybe to really go forward to support him 100%. Even Mary herself had, as Uncle John said, because Mary herself was also to protect herself if she had to take that risk to go forward. She was risking her marriage, this and that. So all these things, as we are getting to celebrate Christmas, the Christian, they don't go beyond thinking of these realities, just only enjoy Christmas. So for us, we put ourselves in the place of Jesus, thinking what happened to him surrounding his life, or this why he could not even fulfill his primary mission. So I remember in Congo when we have a prayer week, we call it a Christmas in heart, means a time of meditation to reflect about Jesus' life, what happened. And now we know it's a winter time inside. Jesus was born in a very, very unfortunate situation. Winter, they are not winter clothing, all these things. So I think we now can think, let's go back. It was at the time if we were there. So how our attitude towards Jesus should be at that time. So the providence is growing, everything's getting much clearer. So it's okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Rex. Thank you. Got Jacinta, then Greg, and then Reverend Ito, looks like. Go ahead, Jacinta.
Yeah, I just thought of that since Jesus died and Mary's died and they've gone to the spirit world, they are, I mean, Mary has quite a high position in some people, in some religions' tradition, because people really feel the need for the mother, and you know, some amazing things have happened in the last 2,000 years. For example, I was named after one of the children of Fatima in Portugal, to which Mary appeared quite a lot of times in 1917, in the beginning of communism. She was warning people in Europe about communism. So she spoke to these little kids who were like only, I think the oldest one was about 12 or something. And they went to their parish priest and said this, and the priest didn't believe them. But they stuck to their guns, and eventually now it's become a place where you can get healed and people go on pilgrimages there. So Mary's gone to the world level. She's working on the world level now. So she's a part of, I think, the women who are trying to find their place and, you know, to help the world. And she's doing it from the spirit world. And there's probably heaps of stories of what she's done. But yeah, I think of one of the most important things for everybody, not just her and women in general, is just we have to know who we are. And that's the first, to me, that's the first thing that we have to really, that gives us protection and strength to do the mission, is to know, what am I? What's my responsibility? Who am I? Just saying that.
Thank you, Jacinta. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, just a small thought. Just I guess Jesus was spiritually called to want to be married to John the Baptist's younger sister. That's what we understand, right? But Mary would have known that that she would have known, as like a in her own heart, secretly maybe, that John the Baptist's sister is actually Jesus' half sister. So that's kind of incest, right? You can't marry your half sister, right? I don't know what the circumstances were back then against incest, but I think Judaism is against incest, right? For sure. Anyway, there's all kinds of complicated issues that Mary would have been facing, including the rejection of, you know, John the Baptist's family itself, you know, because they were afraid that what they'd done, you know, was against the Jewish law. They could have been stoned to death, you know, that they just freaked out and just, you know, disowned Mary, I guess. It was very hard. But we're just sort of speculating, really, because not a lot has been said about it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Go ahead, Veronita, last person.
Okay. I think this is after the Danbury. The father made official speech and all over the United States by cable TV. And the engineer translated. Father said, Jesus should have married with John the Baptist's sister. He said, Father mentioned very clearly, you know, in all over the United States. I'm very shocked, you know, why Father said such a, you know, clearly, you know. And I want to know what's the reaction at the time. I mean, pastors and politicians, you know, so dignitaries all over America, Father declare, you know. And also, I saw the Jesus frustration, you know. Jesus left his home because the family never support, and like every day, like a very, you know, sound Galilea and very dust, and the marriage of Cana, you know. Jesus was very insulted to the woman, to the Mary, you know, because his marriage is not prepared, but, you know, as mother involving for other people. And also, and your mother and brother came to, you know, came there, you know, the disciples said, Jesus said, who is my mother? Who is my brother? You know, this is really exactly Jesus' frustration, you know, just like we imagine, and father in the prison, his wife visited, long time separated with the child, and just agreed to, you know, wife, long time separation, and go back again teaching. So disciple didn't recognize this is his wife, you know, and the father prayed in behind, you know, very sincerely, you know, but carefully, and you know, please understand, you know, I must pass love this disciple like this. Yeah, all this connected Jesus' frustration and the Father's frustration, for the devoting to God's providence. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. It's that time now for us to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just share the screen and we can pray together. Thank you. Jew. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day, and see you tomorrow.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
God bless. Bye.
Bye.